Fantastic. If a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family off to school, Dr. Lowenstein, is there a good phone number to call or a website to
best
visit
way
to
is
learn
to
more
go
about
to
the MBA program or about...
Go to the Coastal Carolina website, the www.coastal.edu, and
Right.
you click on the Wall College. There's a website on the MBA program and our other programs.
Of course, Dr. Staney yesterday had also mentioned a great point, the Wall Fellows, a program, the Wall Fellows. What's that all about?
Very innovative program, very attractive program. The Wall Fellows program is an honors leadership development program that really is our best and brightest students, and they go through an interview process that is probably as tough, if not more so, than a corporation would give a manager and hiring a manager. These students are very motivated. They go out and they spend the better part of a year in an internship with a major corporation. We have students placed with Citicorp, Latin America, Citicorp in other parts of the United States, Rolls-Royce. Has come in very strongly with us, developing relationships. Their jet engine facility in the United States. We place with Deloitte in the Touche in New York, with lots of major corporations, and overseas. We've had them intern in Germany with Bayer, with other companies. And these students are tremendous. And we just had our Wall Fellows induction dinner. We had a few of the alumni back. One of the alumni, for example, who graduated in 1999 is already a senior manager in Touche in New York, and she's coming back and wants to join our board of visitors. So, those are good success stories because they come back and they give back to the Wall School for the next generation of students.
You talked about, of course, your history in banking and obviously being with major financial institutions. I'm sure a lot of viewers want to know, how do you become the dean of a major college of business administration? I mean, you talked a little bit about your history, but for viewers who may not understand.
I started off my career in getting a PhD and teaching in a university and just working my way up with that. Now, I went back and forth between private industry and government and the university systems. And
is that common, by the way?
It is becoming more common. The old way that people became deans were they worked their way up from department chair and they pretty much stayed in academia. But again, the world of business and business education has changed so much now, as well as in academic administration generally, that the universities really need to have deans who understand corporate protocol, they understand government protocol, and they have the contacts, because a lot of what we do now as deans are fundraising and developing relationships. So probably over 75% of my time is working with the local business community and business communities around the world, as well as accreditation work, developing relationships to help open up internships with the Wall Fellows, or we have endowed professorships that we've given. We just recently had an award of a professorship from a local AVX corporation.
I saw that in the Herald last week.
Those are essential for us these days to attract and retain the best faculty, because there's a shortage of PhD faculty in the world. So when we go out to get the faculty for the Wall College, we're in competition not just with every business school in the United States and Canada, but also around the world. It is a tremendously competitive market right now. There's about 2,000 more openings for business PhDs than there are business PhDs.
Why is there such a shortage?
Well, there's a shortage because there's a few doctoral programs in the 80s and the 90s, when there were a lot of constraints in higher education. A lot of doctoral programs shrank or shut down. A lot of people found that they were able to go into very lucrative private business without the need for a PhD. And then the other aspect was that certain industries decided that they needed PhDs in economics and finance and accounting. And so we are in competition with the accounting industry, the financial services industry, and the like for that talent, for private business for that talent, as well as government.
You see the rosters oftentimes of, as you say, major corporations, and see a PhD next to many of the folks' names. You think of a company like Google, and you look down on their executive committee and executive board, and you'll see a lot of PhDs. I'm sure they probably picked up some old professors there at Stanford.
It's not uncommon, and a lot of the people in the Silicon Valley, as you speak of, are people who are entrepreneurs. They were professors at Stanford. They came up with an idea, started their own company, and it became so lucrative they left higher education, and they're in their company.
Yes, yeah, that idea of going back and forth sure sets the stage for students to have that practical, real world, not to take anything away from folks that have been on a campus for 20, 30, 40 years, but that idea of going back and forth a good bit is particularly important. And universities are supportive of that?
Yeah, very much, and that is actually good for the student because it keeps the edge on what is going on. You had a prior guest last week from our computer science. The average life cycle of computer technology today is 18 months, so we cannot be teaching somebody based on a technology that existed even 2 years ago. One of the challenges we have in all of higher education, not just the business college, is keeping up the funding to keep the edge on that technology. We have computer labs, and it is expensive to retool those computer labs every 2 years with either new software or new hardware. But that is what we need to do in order to prepare students to be in this world.
Let's lay out the next 5 years. We've just got a couple of minutes, Dr. Lowenstein. The next 5 years for the Wall College of Business Administration, maybe even the next 10 years. Just your site, if you can give just a...
Well, on the student side, we're anticipating a very high level of growth. As Coastal grows, we're growing at a faster rate. We've been very fortunate, and President DeCenzo has been able to get some agreement with the legislature to add lines to the university as a whole. A number of those in the coming years are going to be for business faculty so that we can expand the number of sections, the number of courses, add some more majors, some more sub-majors, as we talked about earlier. And we will be doing more international outreach. I anticipate the day where actually it'll be full cycle for as many viewers who got their college degrees a long time ago. Foreign language was a requirement, and I can see that coming back just as we go more and more international. Our students need to be prepared if they're going to work in Germany to understand some German conversationally, or French if they're France, and so forth. So I see us transforming that. I see us having more faculty exchanges. We have had some this year with our partner in Mainz, Fachschule Mainz. We had 2 faculty. We have a faculty visiting this semester. I see some of our faculty doing that. And the college will grow and be more visible, and we will hope that we will be getting even more private support to make that a reality.
You talked about a lot of your time, obviously, needing to be out on the road, talking to folks about supporting the university in a different way. Public funds as a public university, but obviously private dollars can come in to help endow chairs or otherwise. How do you determine companies? How do you determine who to go out and see? Or is there a broad support for universities?
Well, we have a board of visitors that has about 50 members on it, who themselves and their companies or former companies are very supportive, and they also have individuals that they know or have worked with, or companies that they work with. So that's become, in my short time here, the main conduit for which we've made contacts. Our University Advancement Department is also working with individuals, with alumni, and then there are people who they retired to Myrtle Beach, and they're bored playing golf all day or looking at the ocean. And it's not uncommon that I have an executive come into my office and he says, "Hi, my name is so-and-so, and I'm the former president and CEO of this corporation in New York. How can I help?" And that's just a wonderful experience.
That hasn't happened.
It happened a couple of weeks ago. Actually, executive vice president for a major securities firm, and that individual we're talking to about joining the board of visitors. So,
tremendous.
We have a tremendous talent here on the Grand Strand of individuals who have retired or moved down to the Grand Strand. They like living here, and they've moved out of New York, New Jersey, other places, and they have tremendous contacts, and they've been very, very helpful.
Those are good words, and as you highlight the Grand Strand, obviously with Coastal being located in Conway or part of Conway, when you think about from Pawleys all the way up to Little River, there are lots of communities to get into. But of course the impact even on the PD in southeastern North Carolina, with Coastal having and expanding their, growing the MBA program, expanding the entire Wall College of Business, will have an impact on a very large area, even back to where your descendants arrived into
That's
the
right.
port of Wilmington.
Well, I think there's a new dynamic going on in the way people gift to universities. There are a lot of people now who are looking for universities like Coastal who have no connection with them other than they feel that their dollars can make a difference. They may have been a graduate of, say, Harvard,
right,
who has a $40, $50 billion endowment, and they know that giving a fairly, what we consider a large gift will be thank you very much, but it's lost in the sea of billions of dollars, where
right,
here it can make a big difference to a lot of students.
Right.
And basically, when you're a public institution, the state of South Carolina does a good job of giving us the basics that we need to be a good college of business. But to get that extra edge for the Wall Fellows program, for these very, very excellent programs that help our students and give them an edge on the market, we really need the private support to do that. And people have been very generous, and we hope they continue to be generous. And in return, we will continue to produce a very high-quality product, a very high-quality graduate, that we hope will come back and reinvest in the Grand Strand and the state.
Those are great words. Thanks so much for being with us this morning, Dr. Lowenstein. Sorry we've run out of time.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Dr. Henry Lowenstein, the Dean of the Wall College of Business Administration, coming up next. You may not have thought of Coastal Carolina University as the university of choice for sports careers in the Carolinas, but you heard it this morning. You may not have known that almost a third, 32% of the students on campus here at Coastal Carolina University are part of the Wall College of Business Administration. You heard it this morning. There's probably other things you want to know. Go online to coastal.edu. That's www.coastal.edu, or you can pick up the phone, 843-349-2026. That's 349-2026. Opportunity to learn more. We didn't even get to talk to Dr. Lowenstein about his experiences in the Ford administration, working with former President Gerald Ford. Obviously, his opportunities getting online, talking about the Federal Reserve and breaking down LIBOR and basis points and otherwise, just breaking down the particulars, or even his tremendous family, his wife that's moved here and his girls back in California. You can learn more about him. Go online to www.coastal.edu.